like availability. So how it is, so if you have a, let's say you for one service, let's say this is your server, okay, and this is your server 2 server. So from the outside user, see, let's put it is internet, okay, to the internet. So for these users, when they try to access that server, let's say test 123.com, okay, actually that test123.com is here, okay. So when they try to hit, so they will hit actually the load balancer, okay, they will hit, the traffic will hit to this load balancer. It is called ELB, elastic load balancer, okay, and actual servers will be behind this, actual servers will be behind this. So load balancer, what they does is we create a target group. So target group, in the target group we bind these both servers, target group, and this is a load balancer. Okay, so what will happen is, and we use some methods here. So what will happen when the, when suppose someone from the internet, if they try to access this server, this URL, so it will go hit to the load balancer. Then load balancer first packet it will send to this server, and the second person, when this person is trying to hit the same URL, so this traffic will go to this guy. So like this, load will be shared among both the servers. Okay, that's the first advantage. Load will be get shared. So I will say write down here load sharing. Okay. The second thing is, in case, what happened is somehow this server one went down. Okay, so what will happen is there will be no impact on this client. Let's say this two connection, if suppose these two users come back again, so this time their connection will not get stopped. They will hit to this server. Still, your service will be run. There will be zero impact. Okay. So the first thing is load sharing, and it will provide you a redundancy. What is redundancy? If something goes down, so your service will not go down. Okay. So what you will do is, till that time your this server will take care of the traffic. So you will get time to make this server up again. You can repair or whatever you can fix the issue, then this server will get ready. So during this time, this test123.com URL, this will be active. There will be zero impact from the user end. Okay, so this is what a load balancer is. So now just think about Amazon. So now this ELB stuff and all this is actually in the cloud. Okay, this is in the cloud. So we are going to create two instances. Okay, server 1, server 2, and we will host some application here. We will host one web page here. So what we will do is, first we will try to access this server, and we will see what it is showing. Then we will try to access this server, we'll see what it's showing. Then we will bind these two servers in the target group. Then we will bind this target group to load balancer, and here we will get some URL. Some URL will be there. So that URL you will try to access from your home, your internet. So when you hit, so in the first packet you will reach to this server, and when you refresh, you will reach to this server. So this is how the lab will go on. Okay. So uh, let me go back to the Amazon console. So yesterday what happened? Okay, forget about that. Right now I'm in the North Virginia. Okay, in the North Virginia, I wanted to create two instances first. Okay, so I'm going to create instance, launch instance. Okay, I will use the first one, Amazon Linux AMI2. Okay, 64-bit. Just select it. Okay, T2 micro instance. That's fine. Okay, so VPC is default. Availability zone, I will choose the 1A. Public subnet should be enabled. And in the down, so there is one script. Actually, yesterday, what happened? There was no www, and also I forget to put the HTML. So what I'm going to do is, I'm once the server come up, so we need to run some Linux command. So with this advanced detail, we are putting these commands directly into the instance itself. So Amazon will take care of this. So what we are doing, we are with the using YARN, we are installing HTTP. Then we are creating one page. We are saying that some test. Okay, so let me give here uh, server one. Okay, server one, and this will be in var www.html index.html. Okay, then this is something. So we will going to change this one. This is the text you will see in the browser. Then service HTTP start and check HTTP start. So we are giving this information in the here in the advanced option. Okay. So if you see here, yesterday we forget to give the HTML. This one. So that was the problem. So equal. So what text I have given server one. Okay. Then rest everything is same. Just go here. Next add tag. So I will say it server one security group. I think I can use. Okay, what it is saying, it has port 80 open for all and it's HTTPS. That's fine. I want that only. That's done and launch. In the launch, I can use Linux web key, which I created yesterday. Okay, launch instance. So my instance is getting ready. So till that time, let me create another instance. So remember, we are see actually we need to do this lab. We need to create two instances, and you need to create a web page. So if you take the Microsoft servers, okay. So in the Microsoft server, you need to create a server and do the RDP into that server. Then you need to enable I, IIS service, Internet Information Service. Then by using HTML page, you need to create that page. It's a lengthy work to just see, host that service. But with the Linux, I found some because we are not a developer, we are not creating a web page, but we want to test it. So that's why I found this shortcut that with this we can test our web server. So that's what we are doing. So I'm creating my second server. Select E2 micro. My next server will be another availability zone, public to be enabled, and here I'm going to say same script. I'm just changing the server to okay. Add tag. It will be server two. So name server security group So I will choose the existing security group. Let's say the same one. The name is SG launch launch Linux web key. Boom, your server is getting ready. Okay, so server is coming up. So name server. Okay, so your two servers, two instances are coming up. Okay, so what we did, we once your server come up, so take that public IP address and go to the browser and hit it here. So what will happen? So by default, let's say if you put the Google, so this is the web page. This is called a web page. Okay, so it means you are hitting to some server. You're here. The Google web page, it is hosted on some server. Okay, similarly, and this is not a one server because lakhs and thousands of people they will try to access the Google. So, do you think there will be one server only for the Google? No, there will be n number of servers. So there will be load balancer work behind that to serve every customer. Okay. So now here in our case, we created two instances, server one, server two. Okay, and we hosted. And how we are going to test that? We 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 have seen a small page, just a text, server one and server two. Okay, so once this server come up, we will do the browsing and we will check that. Okay, so server one since came up. So if I go to the details of server one, okay, so you will see this public IP address. Just copy it. Okay, go to the browser and just try to put it here. Okay, perfect. Can you see what it is showing when I put the browser? And the same thing you guys also can try. If someone can someone take the Nazim, you connected with laptop, right? Can you just browse it, this IP address in your internet?
Okay, one second.
52.54.67.150. Okay, so you can see here the web server, your web page is created. Actually, you like for the Google, you Google page, what you see different colors and some text, but the same thing, you just created a small thing just to test, yeah, your stuff. So now this is your public server. Your anywhere from the world, if you put this, you can see this the same page. Similarly, let me check my second server. It is still coming up. Okay, so and see, this is the IP address, right? So DNS, what is the DNS? So if you look at here, so Amazon, they will also give you public IP for DNS. So if you just click on this, okay, click on this and just hit the same URL. So this is actually the URL. EC2 52. Okay, now can you see this where I am? So this is called a DNS. So this is DNS. See, we haven't configured. Amazon itself given this DNS. See, compute one amazon.com. EC2 this one, something. And if you put search browse with the IP address also, you are getting the server one. Anyone else trying this one? Can you please try it? Confirm. Mr. Salman, welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, sir.
Sorry. Thank you.
No problem. So what we did is just now we built two EC2 instances. Okay, that those Linux instances. And yesterday there was a small mistake in that script, so I just corrected that. And what I did while creating instance, I just put this one, server one and server two. And now as a result, what we are seeing is when I'm my first instance, okay, when I'm trying to use this public DNS, or if you try to just browse it, so I'm saying server one. Similarly, when I'm trying to see my server 2, take the public DNS and just try to hit the URL. Can you see server 2, server 1, server 2? So actually we are reaching two different servers. Okay, server 1, server 2. So can someone please
Unable to browse
confirm,
this.
try to browse this two IP address? You're unable to browse. Okay, see, Sadanand told I got same page. 52.54.67.150. Can you confirm the IP again? Because I open it for the internet, so you should get the same page what I have. 52.54.67.150. So don't use HTTPS or anything. Just take this IP address and put it into the browser. That's it. Or try this one, 18.205. I put it
No,
into.
it is coming. I put the wrong IP.
Okay. So what it is coming now?
Server 1.
Okay. Now can you try server 2? 18.205.116.57.
18 dot.
205.116.57.
Yes, server 2.
Perfect. So this we tried with the IP address. So similarly, DNS name also. See, when you look at here, so Amazon will also give you a DNS name, public IP DNS. So if you try with this DNS, so you will get the same page. So now we created two servers, server one and server two, and just think that you have same application on both the servers. Now you need to create the load balancer. To create the load balancer, what you need to do? First, you need to go and create target group. Okay. In the target group, just first create the target group. Now, what you want? Basic configuration. The first thing, choose target group. So instances, are you want to take the instances or IP addresses or lambda? So I need to use the instance. Support load balancing to instance within a specific VPC. So if you have two servers, then you can just use the name. So let me give something called web servers. Yeah, target group is web servers. Okay, protocol. Which port? See, when you browse it, so actually it is on port 80 HTTP. Okay, so that's why what I will do, I will take the same port 80, come down under which VPC, under default VPC. Then protocol version, what you want HTTP1 or HTTP2. So if you use HTTP1, so it will support when the request come with HTTP or HTTP 1.1 1.2. So this is the next version of that. So protocol version is HTTP1. Health check, this is important. Health check is something which what will happen, your load balance, your Amazon, it will keep try checking your health check of HTTP. So what will happen is if you put the health check, so load balancer, it is not only serving to the customer, it is also taking care of your web page as well. It in some particular time it will keep check this URL, is it working or not. Okay, so that is called a health check. So health check, we have given HTTP, so we want it is to be HTTP. So what will happen if you have some specific URL, so you can put it here, but by default it will do a ping. What will happen, load balancer will try to ping this server, and it will keep track the health check of your server. Okay, so advanced check setting and all, just leave it. Next. Okay, now the next. So available instances, so now you need to register the instances. So you have server 1 and server 2, and the port is 80. So just select first server, and then it is make it include as a pending below. So first server done. Okay, also now take the second server, it should be port 80, and just include it. So if you go down, so in your targets there are two servers now, server 1 and server 2, both are running on port 80, and one in availability zone A, one in availability zone 2. So it is showing health check pending. Now create target group. So target group successfully created. So what we did, we created one target group, and we binded our both server into that group. So if you go and look at here, so what it is saying, it is on the port 80, and if you look at the target, so right now, see what it is saying. It is saying a health check is unused. It means it will take some time to register it properly. Okay, so we created the target group. So once we come back, after a few minutes, when you check, it will be showing a green color. Health check will be green color. So it will take some time, few minutes. So till that time, now the third step. Oops. Okay. So now the third step, first step is create the instance. Second step is create target group, and the third step is create the load balancer. So I'm going to load balancer. Okay. So create load balancer. So what do you want? Application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer. So let's use application load balancer, HTTP. Okay. So give the name to the load balancer. Okay. So I will say something test hyphen web, test hyphen web. Oops, let's use this. Next gen hyphen web. Okay. So what do you want? It is internet facing or internal? So I will put internet facing. Then IPv4. Listener. Listener will be port 80. Okay, if you have some another ports, you can put it there. Then come down. Availability zone. Which availability zone your servers are? My target group servers are in these two availability zones. 1A, 1B. Come down. Then AWS Global Accelerated. So create an accelerator to get a static IP address and improve performance availability on your application. Add-on service. So this is optional. Just leave it as it is. Next, tag. Tag not required. Then go ahead and create a your load balancer is not using any secure listener. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So it is asking a load balancer is not using secure. That's fine. I agree with that. Now it is given actually this. Now let's create the security group. So this security group is important. Okay. So what we can do is we can create new security group saying that next gen SC. Okay. So what we want? We want anyone from the world they can come and browse our they can come and browse our server. So you need to queue this 0.0.0. Otherwise your so this is not a server's security group. This security group will be here. Actually we are binding here. When the people come from the internet, so they will hit to this one. So you need to allow that. So what you are allowing, you're allowing any source can come and hit port 80. Okay. If you want some more rule, you can add the https or some another port you have, then use that. Then configure routing. So target group, you need to give the target group. Now see here which target group you want to bind. Existing target group, see you have one target group here available, web server. Okay. Then you binded that. Health check is same http. Advanced health check, if you look at here, so some most of the other leave it. Servers here running on port 2. Just review it and create. Done. Your load balancer is getting configured now. So before looking at the load balancer, let's have a look on our target group first. So what happened with the target group when you refresh it? Okay, just go up and look at the target group. Okay, and right now target group is not configured to receive traffic from load balancer. Okay, so now we just okay. Can you see this? Health status is showing initial. So now what is happening is our load balancer is trying to check the health check of the servers. So target registration is progress. Can you see target registration is in progress? So similarly, if you go to the load balancer and look at here listeners, so you will see here it is under registration. So it will take some time. So now can you see the state is provisioning. So it is creating the load balancer. So once it is done, then we will be able to access that load balancer. So it is trying to check the health of the server. And can you see the global? You got the a record DNS name. So this is the DNS name which we are going to use. So I'm just putting into the chat. So where I saw in the load balancer description DNS name. So this will be our DNS name, public DNS. So anyone from internet they can access that. So I'm just putting into the chat. So you need to nextgen hyphen web and some name and elb.amazon.com. This is our health check. So let's go to health check and look at here. Just refresh it. Okay, web server. Okay, so web server, what it is showing? It is showing. Okay, can you see there are two target and health in both are in initialized. Okay, that's fine. Targets. Where's my chargers? So now, if you look at here, can you see both are showing healthy? Okay, and if you look at the load balancer now, you can see it is showing active. The load balancer is active. So
Hello. Anybody? Hello. Anybody? Hello.
Groups are showing healthy here. Okay, so when you give some time to load balancer, so now it is showing healthy. Can you see? It is showing server 1 and server 2 both are healthy on port 80. Then go to the load balancer. Okay, and now the load balancer itself, it is showing active now. Can you see active? So when you say active, so now this is the DNS name which Amazon provided us. Okay, so copy this DNS, I put it into the chat. Okay, and you guys can also try this. Can who is trying the, please tell me. I just ping into the chat. So if I take that URL and put it into my browser, so when I hit enter, right now I'm in the server 2. Refresh it, my second packet goes to server 1. Refresh it, now I'm server 2. Refresh it, server 1. So what is happening? Our load balancer is giving one traffic here, one traffic here, one traffic here, one traffic here. So I want you guys to try this. I ping in the chat the URL. Who is trying? Nazim, Salman bhai, who is trying? Nitika?
I'll try.
Yeah, just copy this URL and put it into the browser. What web page you are getting? Server 1, server 2. You can test it from the mobile also, no problem.
One second. You just have to paste the URL yourself. Okay?
Yes, yes, in the browser. That's it.
Paste.
What about others IP address here? 3.220.139.190. So you can
Three
click
dot.
this IP. 3.220.139.190. If you don't copy DNS, then just type this.
I got server 2.
Okay, now refresh it once again.
Yeah, now I'll show server 1.
Perfect. What about others?
No, they were 3.220.139.190.
190.
Okay. Okay, I got server 2.
Refresh it.
Refreshing it, still server 2. Now server 1.
Yeah, coming.
Yes. So this is what. Okay. You know what? What is happening? So let me clear this little bit. So what is happening? You guys are here on the internet. Okay, and you have this DNS. So we have DNS and as well as 3 dot this one, and also this TNS. So you guys are trying to access this URL actually from the internet. Okay, and where is this URL hosted? It is hosted on my AWS cloud. AWS. Okay, and there is a load balancer here. Okay, so, so when you're trying to access, so actually it is hitting here to the load balancer. Okay, so what will happen? This load balancer, behind the load balancer, there is one target group associated. Okay, and this target group is managing. Behind this target group, there are two real servers are there where the web page is hosted. Okay, when someone is trying, okay, so it will, you are hitting to the load balancer. Load balancer is doing a load balancing. You have one packet it is sending here, and another packet when you're refreshing it is sending here. This is my server 1 and server 2. So they use a load balancing method. So we have option to choose the load balancing method as well. If you go to the monitoring, okay, now meanwhile in the load balancer it does many things. Okay, so if you look at here, if you what you are seeing as on name, security group, and this listeners. So listeners are, this is our port 80 where our load balancer is listening. Okay, monitoring. So here you can see the status of your traffic as well, which traffic is hitting what and all. Integrated service, if you want to add a WAF policy into the load balancer. WAF is nothing but like web access firewall. Okay, so you can put it there as well to extra security. You can put some threat signatures and threat prevention signatures there into that. So that is something a little bit advanced. So we may touch that later, but you are hitting here. And in the load balancer, what we did is we attach a web server target group. And what is the web server target group? It is here. See, it is showing healthy. Okay, so target, and it is showing healthy. And if you go to the monitoring, so you will see the monitoring some traffic, some graphs. If you have some heavy traffic, you will see some graphs and all. Okay, health check and all. So in the health check, if I go to the health check, so actually I want to show you the load balancing method. There are some option here, so where I can see, okay, edit rule. Let me try edit this. Where I can see that. I'm just trying to show you one option there. Since it is not here. Monitoring. You see monitoring, and can you see this is actually CloudWatch. It is going to the CloudWatch. So CloudWatch will take care of the monitor. Okay. So if you want to see, if you want to create some specific alarms and all, you can go and create there. Okay. So one thing still I am looking for: edit IP, edit subnet, security attribute. I want to show you There, it should be in some advanced setting. Uh, Load balancing method. It should show you. Um, it is a by default. It's a round robin method. So I'm just trying to looking that option where I can see that web server forwarding. Okay, that's fine, no problem. So that should be in some advanced option. First, you need answer is ready and you're hitting both servers. Okay, now what I'm doing now, the second part of your lab is I am going to shut down server 2. I'm going to stop it and let's see what will happen. So I just stopped my server 2, and now what you guys need to do, take another browser and search that URL again multiple times and tell me what is coming now, what will be the outcome, which server you are hitting now. Okay, now see the same URL when I'm hitting. So I'm reaching to server 1
Server
only.
1 only.
Server 1, server 1, server 1. Why? What happened? Only server 1. So if you go back here and if you look at here, if you go to the target group, can you see here your target group is saying boss, your one of the server is become unhealthy. Now it will take some time, maybe in 1 minute it will tell you, because it will keep checking the health check of the instance of that service. So out of it should show you unhealthy. Okay, now can you see this? Unused. Target is in stop state. Can you see this? So now in this load balancer, you have only one server going on. So what happened is this server 2 went down. So still this service is going on. So everyone now, if you look at here, you guys are going to the server 1 now
Yes.
because the server 2 is down. So like this, the load balancer will take care. Like this, you can bind n number of servers. You can create 4, 5, 10 servers and put it into one URL. So like this, you can cover a larger audience. Okay. So I'm taking my instance back, server 2. I will make it again start instance, and you will see that after some time. Okay, so what is the important thing here is this is the important one. So otherwise, see, to test this lab, you need to create one web page. So that is very difficult. Okay, so by using this small script while building instance itself, now see what you need to do when I give you the script. So you can change stuff here under these two inverted commas. So you can give any name, just but make sure you give for two instances, you give two different names so that you can test it properly. And once it is done, once you tested your load balancing is started, then stop one instance and see and check and verify where your traffic is going. So this is what the load balancer is. Load balancer is used to balance the load. Like this, you can have n number of, you can have 10 servers behind this, and you can share the load. Okay, so this is very important, and I hope this is clear. Any questions here before we wrap? Actually, we're supposed to do this lab yesterday itself, but there I found some mistake was there in the script, but now it is good. So you just need to use this, just copy it and paste it, put it into that advanced option while creating the instance. So that's it, and rest all the options are same. first create the instance, then create the target group, then create the load balancer and wait for few minutes. Okay, because once you attach load balancer, then it will start checking the health check. So now if you go here, your health check should be fine now. Okay, now see it is healthy. Now can you browse it once again? Now I'm browsing it. Okay, can you see I started server 2, then browse server 1, then browse server 2, browse server 1. Yes. So this is called a load balancing.
Remember one question.
Uh-huh.
This combination of servers, can this be on different operating systems?
No.
Okay.
Because the objective of load balancer is if you have a same application, okay, and which is overloaded, one application which is overloaded, so you can host the same application on multiple servers and you can host the same service on that. Let's say this Google. So Google.
I got it. Yeah.
Right. So this is what you're load balancing. You are sharing the load among the servers. That is the advantage of it.
Okay. So can these two servers have multiple applications?
No.
Only dedicated
Yes.
applications.
Yeah. You cannot run multiple applications. So then what is use of load balancer? Load
No, I mean,
balancer is
can these host multiple applications, like two applications, like that? I'm asking.
yes, server can on two different port you can host on the same server.
Same server, yeah, two different posts.
Yeah,
Obviously,
so
they will
right
talk to
now
different.
port 80 is reserved for this application. You can use port 443 or you can use port 2021, whatever you are. You have port range starting from 0 to 65,000. So you can use any port and you can host n number of applications on that in one server. But the objective is one application can take one port only in that particular server.
Right.
Okay. So this is very interesting. I would request you to do this lab and enjoy this lab. Okay, and creating the instances. Okay, so when you create a load balancer, so it will be what is called it will be charges. It will be charged because Amazon is giving you a public IP address, right? Your URL is hosted publicly. So the first thing first is you need to delete this first. Delete. Yes, done. So first delete the load balancer, then delete the web server. If you try to delete the web server, then it will give you error that no, you have the dependency. Now see, I deleted the target group also now. Now can you just try to browse it again? Because there is nothing here. That web page gone. See, it is still loading. Nothing is coming there. And finally, I will go ahead and I will shut down my servers. Terminate servers. That's it. Okay. So please